Hello, Professor Bright here, and welcome back to the Sunless Sea, where we've just gotten our mission from the tireless mechanic to gather very rare materials, go to Frostfound and potentially get ourselves killed. Oh, and rescue someone from Wisdom for the first time. So, that's going to all take quite a while before we can successfully manage it. Before we go back to London, though, a quick luncheon with the sisters. Delightful. And let's head back, because we have to finish our business with Mr. Sachs, or hopefully get our reward from the master of the bazaar. I was going to say gentlemen, but I'm not entirely sure what they are, or which pronouns they want, or what titles they would prefer. Well, besides master of the bazaar. So, potentially male, question mark? I mean, I suppose the question is sort of unimportant for them. Oh, yes. Well, we won't have to get any assistance from these guys. Even though we have tiny amounts of fuel, we'll be fine. It's more than enough to make it back home, especially from the Sisters Island. Now, let's dock and really hope... Oh, thank God. Okay. I was gonna say, I was hoping that the customs office didn't come to see us. Instead, it's this gentleman, who is not Mr. Sachs, not at all, but he is a bit of business we needed to finish. Welcome home. You may ask how it is I'm here to meet you, and I may remark that we have eyes in the wastes and eyes in the hill. In fact, we have more eyes than a knot oracle, and they're all glad to see you, and of course your cargo. I would hope so. Great, we got some money back from that disastrous business over at Khan's Glory. Not Khan's Glory, Khan's Heart. Oh yes, very good, very good. Please accept this small token of my thanks, and please also accept my thanks, and my patron's thanks, which we being persons of honor what understands the true nature of dealings, is much more important. Still, spending money is always good, isn't it? And a captain must eat and so must a ship, which is why if you look under the pier there you will find a few helpful contributions of fuel and so forth. Wonderful. Yes, well, let's... Let's find out what this is about. We picked up a package back at Savior's Rocks, and I want to know what the deal is here. Trinkets, just trinkets. The man waiting is not a cultist, he's just another ordinary citizen, wearing a silken blindfold. In a few years, perhaps everyone will be wearing them. Perhaps. Deliver the trinkets to the waiting man. Still a firmly sealed crate of what are absolutely not sorrow spider eggs. Well, that's a relief. Or maybe you just got lucky. Either way, they made it. So did you. Oh! Wonderful! We had spider eggs on our ship. Great. Excuse me, what? What was the address on that crate? The Shuttered Palace? On second thought, it hardly matters, but... Interesting. The Shuttered Palace is, whatever the Queen of England's palace was called. But... interesting. Now the question is she the buyer of the Sorrow Spiders, or is it someone else? Unimportant, I suppose, but let's deliver our remaining clay men. Pity we had to sacrifice one of them, but... oh well. A shame. And some replacement crew would be nice. Wonderful. And of course, ship repairs. Very necessary. I am sort of delaying things, I know, but... well... I have many things to worry about right now. Not least of which is just... keeping the ship running. Oh. Okay, Avid Horizon again. So we might be making a northerly trip this time. Instead of the southerly trip I kind of have to plan out. That's fair. It's fair. Hey, you know what? Let's do our port reports real quick, because I gotta be honest, I really don't want to find out what's going on in my lodgings. Pretty sure that's where Sax is going to be, and I just... it would be nice to have a bunch of extra fuel, bunch of extra echoes and such ahead of time. Although I guess we don't really have much choice right now. Did I just hand him the... I just handed him the strategic information? No, good. Good. I was gonna say I had quite a few of these port reports. So, yeah. I think we should be good on fuel for a while. Wonderful. Okay, no more delaying it. Let's go to lodgings. And, oh, there you are. Interesting. How much space do we have left? Not quite enough. So I guess we're gonna have to sell stuff. We'll just sell off the honey and the spider silk. But that's interesting. We're actually getting a reward, sort of, kind of, hopefully, maybe. The incarnadine robe of Mr. Sachs. It sits on your chair. This has possibilities. Okay. Ho, ho, ho. Londoners give generously to Mr. Sachs. Is it really that time of the year, some of them ask? But a shake of the sack is all it takes to convince them it is better to give than to receive the crimson beasts of winter's displeasure. You return home with a bulging sack of shiny new toys. When you next wake, the robe is gone. Oh, so I literally just put on Mr. Sax's robe and just stole a bunch of stuff from them. Great. Merry Christmas. Including Judgment's Egg, which I'm pretty sure is an incredibly valuable item. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Huh. Well. I honestly don't know what I want to do. You see, if I go back to my lodgings, there's still one more gift of sorts for me to get. So I don't know if I want to get that yet, just because I don't have really any space for it. Also, I don't know what I'm going to be using the Judgment's Egg for. I presumably could sell it to this one, but I mean, that is a very rare item. Like, I haven't seen it before, and I'm pretty sure where would I have used it? I think at the Heart of Frostfound, I need a Judgment's Egg. I'm going to hold on to that, just because I'm not sure what I would be using it for. I'm just going to hold on to it for now, until I know what it's good for. Other than that, some very interesting purchases. Well, not really purchases, gifts. Let's just sell most of it, though. This approved romantic literature. Oh, can get rid of that. And actually, what all is in my hold? Strange catch. I could do without one of those. And if I then sell the wine, I mean, I'm going to have to buy it back, because if I'm going to make a northerly trip, I'm going to want to stop by Godfall, I'm going to want to stop by Savior's Rocks again, so I'm going to end up buying 6 more of these. But I'm curious what this gift from our friends, shall we say, is. Several crates of wine sit in your lodgings. The note on the top reads, "For your service and discretion." Oh, it's literally just a ton of alcohol. Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough. No, it can't be. Greyfields 1868. A few bottles of Broken Giant 1844. Isn't that from before the fall? Only Mr. Wines is said to stock these in any quantity, and it reserves them for itself and very few with whom it considers itself on intimate terms. You extract the best one for personal consumption. The rest will fetch a fine price. Intriguing. So this is Mr. Wines that paid us to sabotage Mr. Sachs. Very interesting. Some little bits of politics between the masters. Okay. Alright, I'm intrigued. I'm also wondering why that's still there. Let's see if that helps. Good. Now, really, as soon as I just sold my firkin of prisoner's honey, and now you want it. Great. Great. Okay, well, I don't have any space for this. Let me see here. We can sell a bunch of this. I really only need 6. Plus, I'm gonna need whole space for any sort of, things we might acquire. Oh, Stygian ivory and, sapphires. Worry about that later. For now, though, I forgot to purchase things. Look, I'm a little bit unsettled, okay? Let's buy one of these and head over here. It's a tough challenge, but we can probably succeed. Hooray, we succeeded! No one visits the forgotten quarter of Fallen London anymore. No one remembers why, except archaeologists, treasure hunters, and magicians who have lost their hands to imaginary serpents. The world is thin there, the magician once told you. It's closer to the place behind mirrors, to Parabola. Open the way to the forgotten quarter. My revenge waits for me there. I'll need honey to navigate the dreams. Can you, lend me a barrel of the stuff and help me with the dreaming? I will show my gratitude when the time comes. A road of roses. Prisoner's honey transports the dreamer's body as well as mind. You walk beside the magician along a path lined with watchful black roses. The rosers built this way, he said. Another of Parabola's servant peoples. It pleases me to use it against the kings of that place. Look, the light up ahead. When we wake, we'll know the way to the quarter. Okay, so I didn't actually go to the forgotten quarter. Is that what I'm to say? Okay, interesting. Here we go. I can apparently get the eyeless skull from the forgetful archaeologist, but is that useful to me? Yes, it is. So back over here, let's purchase it. Obtain an eyeless skull from a forgetful archaeologist. What? Who? Take it. One secret and it's yours, isn't it? Lose 1 of each stat, which is unfortunate, but it's also worth 1,000, well, 1,000 echoes, or something that is worth 1,000 echoes, from the gentleman over at Venderbite. So, could be useful. But as to the matter of the genial magician's plan, what is it exactly? A prison for serpents. My enemy, he explains, roams the mirror marches at the edge of Parabola. He taps the wooden statue. I have baited this image with the sense of life. My enemy will enter and be ensnared, and then we can put its power to use, you and I. He frowns. There's a possibility it will enter me instead. Quite a real possibility. Should that occur, I trust you will murder my stolen body and fling it into the sea. Of course. Ha 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 ha. 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 No. 3 secrets and 1 skin to lack. I mean, would have been nice if I'd known that ahead of time, and I probably should have remembered that. But, oh well, that's a thing that happens occasionally. Oh, and as to this, let's just ignore the restless nights, rather. And while we're thinking, oh, I don't have any more of a free evening. Oh. That is quite unfortunate. But, well, let's read the morning papers, get ourselves a little bit extra supplies, and... We can't carouse? No? Okay. I was kind of hoping for that. Oh dear. I suppose we could pick up an agent, though. Hey, maybe this one will actually succeed. And then we can describe our recent moves in the great game and get some echoes. Well, let me do some quick shopping for a moment. Let me see here. Because we're going to need more than 40 hold capacity in order to get the engine from the... Tireless mechanic. Show me more. You... Deck auxiliary bridges and... Oh. So this would... I mean, the extra hold capacity is nice, don't get me wrong, but... Having, less weaponry doesn't really appeal to me. On the other hand, this little frigate here would set me back 13,000 echoes. So, I'm imagining the price went up quite a bit. I mean, it's a good ship, I'm sure, but awfully expensive. In its catalog, even more so. My. I do not remember these things being quite so expensive. Might be I'm just not remembering things properly, but... Oof, man. 13,000. That is quite an amount of money. On the other hand, 6,000... Well, it's a debate we'll have later. For now, let's go elsewhere. Let's actually speak to our surgeon. He's soft-voiced, courteous, rarely makes eye contact, but often stares at other people's eyes from afar. Jealous? Perhaps. Let's chat about politics over roast lizard and cabbage in the Kaganian style. It's true, I fell in with restless elements. The usual reasons, of course, watching the bazaar devour London year by year. The iniquities of the rich and the pities of the poor. But more than that, I thought London needed darkness. Do you know what I mean? I thought the city was safer in the dark. Do you understand me? I applied my arts to that end. If you do, I need say no more, and if you don't, I should say no more. What are you talking about? What do you mean, darkness? Like the darkness of ignorance, or... Let's ask about his medical career. He looks up from a wounded sailor. No, I mustn't. No, I have no stories I would wish you would wish to hear. He sniffs. Unless, would that be Z-Trout? A dour companion, the doctor pushes more food around his plate than he puts into his mouth, and what he eats he chews until all taste has been squeezed out. Between bites he sips only water, evading all questions where opinion is sought. It's only when the subject turns to his trade that something flickers inside him. Old memories of pain and pride. I fear it was my training that let me see this world for what it was, its corpus infested by malignancies with human faces. How could I dare face Hippocrates in the hereafter if I just stood by and did nothing? Nothing! His eyes meet yours for the first time. Fierce. Damned. If 2 drops of medicine can cure the body, could 2 drops of poison cure the world? For a moment, it actually seemed that easy. The fire fades. He pushes back his chair. Pardon me, citizen, I fear I've had my fill today. Let's have them up for a drink. The haunted doctor has kept to himself since dinner. Perhaps some wine will help him open up. The art of poison. I let most of them slip away peacefully, a drop of laudanum still on their tongues. For that sop to my conscience I am most ashamed of all. The wine flows as the haunted doctor talks candidly of his past, of a status that allowed him to the bedsides of many of London's most infamous, and the black medicine bag that carried the tools of both his trades, doctor and anarchist poisoner. I was a fool, he adds, a child, just a boy on a crusade, drinking in the rhetoric of the Calendar Council, thinking myself more than a mere poisoner. What I did I do not regret. Would, though, that I had seen their true hearts before giving myself so freely to perdition. He wraps his leathery eye patch. The sound is hollow, sickly. It is a disappointment I well deserved. The lady taught me that much, at least. No, another time, perhaps. The hour grows late. I thank you for the company. Anything more? No. A place that interests him. I don't know where that would be exactly. But we have trips to plan. I'm debating between a northern or a southerly trip. south to explore more, or northern to finish up some stories and get some more resources, shall we say. But for now, thank you for your time. Note the like, comment, and subscribe buttons below. Use them responsibly, and I shall see you all soon.